Well, 16 is sweet, but 8 is elite. Welcome into our studios. Trey Wingo here with Carol Lawson and the coach, Carolyn Peck. Lots of great basketball action coming your way today, beginning with second-seeded Kansas taking on upstart Kansas. What do you expect?
Well, I think for Tennessee, it's a matter of exerting their influence on the boards. They've got just a terrific front line. The way Glory Johnson is attacking that glass, she was tremendous on the glass in their second-round win.
Well, Tennessee's going to have to worry about slowing down Angel Goodrich. That point guard has got this Kansas team playing with a lot of confidence, even though they're playing without 6'5" Carolyn Davis.
3 straight 20-point games for Angel Goodrich. As for Tennessee and Pat Summitt, no surprise, this is their 30th trip to the Sweet 16, 24-5. All time. We'll see what happens. Enjoy the action between Tennessee and Kansas. Beth Mowens and Stephanie White have the call.
Welcome to regional semifinal action of the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One at Wells Fargo Arena on the banks of the Des Moines River. Lady Vol fans out in force and a good Kansas contingent as well. It's the 11 seed and the 2 seed in the Des Moines region. Coming up on deck, it's top-seeded and undefeated Baylor with Brittany Griner in action taking on the 4 seed Georgia Tech. The winners will play for a spot in the Final Four on Monday night. Welcome to Des Moines. I'm Beth Mowens along with former Purdue National Championship Stephanie White. And Stephanie, what better way to start out this Sweet 16 weekend than with Pat Summitt and those 8 national championships?
Well, Pat Summitt has not taken a team to the Final Four since 2008. Her sole focus is to cut down the nets in Denver. And she has a senior class who could be the only senior class not to reach a Final Four. They won it for themselves, and they won it for Pat.
And for more on the seniors, here's Samantha Steele.
Beth, there's only one senior on this team that's been to a Final Four, and that's redshirt senior Vicky Baugh. I talked to her yesterday, and she said a few short weeks ago they were lacking some serious leadership and maturity on this team, but that all changed on senior night when they started 5 seniors for the first time and haven't looked back. She said the big difference is defensive mentality. They weren't playing a whole lot of D, especially in that Vanderbilt game where they gave up 93 points. Since then, they've only lost 1 game by 1 point in overtime. They're going to need some big defense to stop Angel Goodrich today.
Thank you, Samantha. Let's take a look at tonight's Capital One starting lineups. That Angel Goodrich, just 5 feet 4 inches tall. We're going to start out with a one-on-one first, Stephanie.
Well, this is a Kansas team, only the 3rd time in program history in the Sweet 16, facing a Tennessee team who has been to 30 of 31 Sweet 16s. A tall order for a Jayhawk team who's been defying all odds throughout the entire NCAA tournament.
A pair of programs coming from very different places as we check out the Capital One starting lineups. There's Angel at 5 feet 4 inches tall, just 13 points per game during the regular season, up to 24 per game through the first weekend of this NCAA tournament. The starting lineup for the Lady Vols, as Samantha alluded to, Vicky Baugh is the 5th-year senior, but the other 4 senior starters on a mission to get to their first Final Four. And the next step to be taken here this afternoon against Kansas. The Jayhawks, one of the final teams into the tournament, looking for the upset over Tennessee. And, of course, the sideline looking a little different for the Lady Vols. Holly Warlick, the associate head coach at Tennessee, is calling out a lot of the action right next to her longtime mentor, Pat Summitt, the head coach, to her right. And the coaching duties a bit different since Pat's diagnosis of early onset dementia. Alzheimer's type. Obviously more on that story as the day progresses. But the Lady Vols as the higher seed in their home whites, Kansas in their road blues. The Jayhawks trying to get to the Elite 8 for the first time in school history.
Kansas right away starting with pressure, man-to-man defense. They want to try to keep Tennessee off balance by changing up their defense.
And immediately, the Lady Vols get it inside to Vicky Baugh. They will have a decided height advantage at 4 of the 5 spots on the floor.
Well, and Glory Johnson has just been playing with such a sense of urgency in this NCAA tournament. Great job of attacking right away.
Chelsea Gardner following it right up for Kansas.
You see Angel Goodrich has the ability to impact the game in a lot of different ways. There she finds her teammates in Kansas coming back in that 2-3 zone.
Just running it around to Brandon Bass. This is the 7th straight game of all seniors in the lineup since senior day against Florida. They've been undefeated with this unit, and a big reason why they've gotten out to fast starts. And Glory Johnson misses on the 15-footer.
Well, these seniors love that responsibility. They want to be held accountable. They want to be the ones who get this team off to the start that they need. And so far, they have lived up to that expectation they've set for themselves.
Good ball movement here in the first couple of possessions for Kansas. Harden will look for three. Off the front of the rim, the long rebound to Ball, running with Manning. And the big girl showing her handle, can't knock down the layup, and it's tipped out to Gardner.
Well, Holly Warlick told us that Tennessee's probably going to start out in this 2-3 zone. They've had trouble containing penetration all season long, and with Angel Goodrich, they want to cut down those lanes.
Goodrich with her quickness as well as anybody they faced at trying to break down the zone. Inside shot, second chance is good for Chelsea Gardner, the 6'3" freshman who replaced the injured Carolyn Davis in the starting lineup 9 games ago.
And Chelsea Gardner has been the difference. Only averaged 4 points on the season as Goodrich gets the steal and the layup, but averaging almost 13 points a game in the tournament. Coach Henriksen told us we didn't ask her to be Carolyn Davis. We just asked her to give us a little bit more than she had been, and she has certainly stepped up her game.
The question to Chelsea Gardner, can you just get a little better every day? And the freshman in the middle of the paint right now has done just that. Ball flashing high to catch. Glory Johnson. Not the offensive rebound. Tennessee will keep it. This was job number 1 for Kansas. Try and keep them off the glass as Goodrich gets the pick.
Well, Goodrich does a good job of getting in that passing lane. They're playing off of Brianna Bass. She's able to get a deflection and a steal, and Kansas has got to be able to score a little bit in transition.
Foul called out on top against the Jayhawks. And that'll be on Aisha Sutherland, the 6'2" senior out of Paris, California, her first. Sutherland coming off a double-double in their second-round win against Delaware, but she's got to stay out of foul trouble. That's been a problem in the tournament.
That's exactly right. She needs to be on the floor. The lone senior on this team, they need her for her size, her rebounding, and her leadership.
Trying to throw it into traffic. Strickland with the good catch and a double team for the finish.
And Kansas really doesn't have that person that can match up with Shakina Strickland. Her versatility, her size on the perimeter. She can take the guards inside just like that and take advantage of that size.
Gardner over Ball using the glass. 6 points early on for Chelsea Gardner.
The question automatically when Carolyn Davis goes down is who's going to replace her points? Who's going to replace her presence? And while they've collectively replaced her points, Chelsea Gardner's presence and growth and maturity has been an added bonus for Kansas.
Alicia Manning, the 6'1" senior out of Woodstock, Georgia, able to drop the mid-range. Manning, one of those gritty type of players. Statistics probably not going to be impressive numbers, but the little things that she does vital for Tennessee.
One of those glue players. You need to have her presence on the floor. A nice job of recognizing the mismatch early on. Kansas really breaking down this defense with the pass.
Chelsea Gardner debuting in the Sweet 16 and off to a hot start. She's got 8. Strickland off the mark. The tip and the putback for Glory Johnson.
Glory Johnson is just relentless on the offensive glass. Such a terrific rebounder. You've got to make sure you check her. If there's one person on the floor that you got to put a body on, it's Glory Johnson.
Kansas has not been intimidated at all by the jersey or the Tennessee name thus far today. The reach-in foul called on Strickland, and the early 2-point lead for Kansas.
Today, we stand against the tyranny of media travel cards.
Battle speech, right?
May I? Capital One is issuing a Venture Double Miles Challenge. Show us how much you spent last year. It will give you 2 miles for every $1 spent on your travel reward card, up to 100,000 miles.
Hawaii, here we come.
Claim your miles at CapitalOne.com today.
What's in your wallet? Can you play games on that?
Not on the runway.
Oh.
Open up Pizza Hut's new $10 dinner box. All your favorites, all in one place. A medium one-topping pizza, freshly baked breadsticks and cinnamon sticks, plus marinara and sweet icing for dipping. Best of all, the $10 dinner box is only $10 and only at your Pizza Hut.
A Masters Moment, brought to you by AT&T. 1992. In the final round, Fred Couples was shooting darts, including this approach at number 7 that hit the flagstick. But he would also need luck as he stood on the treacherous 12th tee with a 3-shot lead.
This may be the luckiest 3 I have ever seen on this hole in my life.
Couples hit a great pitch to 2 feet and went on to win the Masters.
Predicting the future is hard. But I have this new smartphone, and now I can see everything more clearly. I can organize the analysis, sort through all the data, maybe even rattle some cages. I predict that I'm gonna like the future, because the future's where I'll be serving up humble pie, a la mode.
AT&T introduces the Samsung Galaxy Note. Phone, tablet, both.
We picked a great seafood place. It's a tad bit pricey, and hopefully we caught the chef in a good night.
Golden Corral's pan-seared seafood and more. Delicious tilapia, shrimp scampi, sirloin, beef tips, and more. All on our endless dinner buffet, still for one low price, only at Golden Corral.
Opening night, Cardinals Marlins, April 4th at 7 on ESPN.
You don't cheat yourself and you don't cheat your teammates. When we come back in here, we got a chance at a big win. But we got to do it together. Because when Dusty the blind bull was pulling, she didn't know she was the only one pulling. We all know we're all pulling, right? Here we go. Let's go.
Total team effort. The message from Bonnie Hendrickson pregame in her 8th season at Kansas. Had tremendous success at Virginia Tech prior. And this her first trip to the NCAA Tournament since, and to the Sweet 16. In a date today with Kansas, they have hit 5 of their first 7 shots. All of their points have come in the paint. 8 of them by the freshman, Chelsea Gardner. Gardner replacing the injured Carolyn Davis, went out mid-season with an ACL injury. She has matched Tennessee thus far.
And every time somebody goes down, it's an opportunity for another player to step up. And Chelsea Gardner has been that player. She has continued to get better. She has elevated her game in this NCAA tournament. But you've got to credit where Kansas is right now to Angel Goodrich. Her leadership and really bringing this team and holding this team together has been outstanding.
Sutherland, 15-footer on go. No team, program, players, coaching staff in America is as well equipped to deal with an ACL injury than this Kansas team. They've had 4 of them in the last 4 years, 2 of them to All-America candidates, and the other 2 were to Angel Goodrich earlier in her career. So they are well versed with how to deal with that kind of adversity, and they are out on the run, and they are scoring early.
I like the way they're pushing in transition. You have got to force Angel Goodrich to take a dribble or 2 sideways in the backcourt. She's too good at finding her open teammates on the break.
Goodrich already with a couple of assists. Has 2 points as well as Vicky Baugh gets bumped inside. Carolyn Davis was having a tremendous year before the ACL injury. Their leading scorer at nearly 17 per game.
He's leading the nation in field goal percentage.
She went out on February 12th, and that sent the Jayhawks into a tailspin after a 15-2 start. They finished the year at 4-10. They were one of the last 4 teams into the tournament. Many have speculated they were the last team to get in, and it was a regular season finale victory at Oklahoma that put them over the top, according to the selection committee members that we've talked to. Nina Strickland. Took the ball. The 5 seniors still out there for Tennessee. Manning stepping inside, can't knock it down. What
this Kansas defense is forcing Tennessee to do one-pass offense. They're taking one pass, quick shots, contested shots, and they're doing a good job of finishing that play. And Aisha Sutherland is a player that Kansas needs to get going offensively. She's got to be able to put some buckets in for Kansas, but also she has a tremendous duty on the defensive end to check Glory Johnson and to keep her off the glass.
Over 1,000 points and 900 rebounds in her career, and it's a one-and-done trip for Tennessee.
No ball reversals for Tennessee, not able to get any defensive shifts.
Goodrich, deep three. Tennessee on the run. Tough catch by Glory Johnson in the finish.
See the athleticism of Glory Johnson to be able to go get that ball, come down in traffic, get on balance, and finish that play.
Tennessee does not mind an up-tempo game today because of the injury to Davis. Kansas, not a lot of depth.
And Tennessee, a team that has had several different starting lineups. They have players who can come in off the bench and contribute right away.
Gardner with another rebound. No reset, though, on the shot clock. Goodrich recognizes and drives right into the heart of the Tennessee defense.
We have seen Angel Goodrich knife through defenders the entire tournament. Her savvy ability to get through and to be able to get that shot up and knock it in.
Manning for three, short. Well, as Samantha Steele reported to us prior to the game, Tennessee's defense has been terrific down the stretch of the season, but not so today. Big trouble for the Lady Vols on the defensive end. Kansas shooting 60%, and they've got their biggest lead of the afternoon.
Well, defending penetration has been a challenge for Tennessee all season long, and Goodrich able to split those defenders. She puts it up soft and able to get the shooter's roll. And there again, off of the on-ball screen, the slight ball fake keeps Vicky Ball off balance and able to finish off the glass.
The junior from Tahlequah, Oklahoma, a finalist for the top point guard in the country. She led the nation this year in assists, set a new Kansas single-season mark as well. And it's not easy at times, Stephanie, for a point guard to be here, do it all offensively. She's their leading scorer, their best three-point shooter, as well as leading them in assists and steals.
And Bonnie Hendrickson said, you know, when Carolyn Davis went down and we asked everybody to give a little bit more, she says, I almost felt guilty asking Angel Goodrich to give a little more because she does give so much, but her leadership skills, her understanding of when it's time to take over a ball game, when it's time to get my teammates involved, has been terrific, and she has put this team on her shoulders in this NCAA tournament.
Goodrich with 6 points and a couple of assists, and she's got Kansas out in front.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by the Capital One Cup. Learn more and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
We'll take 2 chicken pot pies.
The KFC Chunky Chicken Pot Pie. Freshly baked with our signature recipe and loaded with chunks of chicken and vegetables. Try it now, just $3.99.
Classic, man. Yeah, classic.
This is not my home. There, I said it. They don't have pictures of my kids. They don't have my yoga mat. And still, I feel at home. Could it be the flat screen TV? The not so mini fridge? The different free dinner almost every weeknight? Or maybe it's all of the above and all the rest. Am I home? Nope, but it almost feels that way. Homewood Suites by Hilton. Be at home.
I've been doing taxes for 25 years. I've dealt with all types of tax problems. People want to know their taxes have been done right. To help, you can use our free one-on-one expert tax advice.
Go to turbotax.com.
The Kansas Jayhawks on Selection Monday night. A big-time bubble team. They were smiling then. They have been smiling throughout this NCAA tournament. And on the wings of Angel Goodrich, they are in front early looking for the biggest win in Kansas basketball history here today. 18-10, they have jumped out on top. And a long way from that Monday night. When they saw their name come up, they were sweating. They could barely even look at the screen. And they had to wait to the final reveal to see their name in the field of 64. And they have been playing loose. They've been shooting it well, 60% from the floor. And I love what Bonnie Henriksen told us yesterday when we asked her about Carolyn Davis, and with tears in her eyes, remembering the ACL injury in mid-February, she said, I told the team, don't let what you don't have keep you from using what you do have. And we will continue on with her as our coach now instead of our teammate.
And not only did Carolyn Davis injury against Kansas State, but then she comes back for her teammates. She's out in the game at Missouri, and she goes to throw a T-shirt and crumbles down again. And she said that was the lowest point. I felt like we relived it all over again. But since then, this team has bounced back.
The NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship continuing on ESPN and ESPN2 tonight from Fresno. It's St. John's Duke at 9 Eastern. And then South Carolina Stanford at 11:30. And an intriguing coaching matchup in that nightcap. Dawn Staley played for Tara Vanderveer in the 1996 Olympics. And they won a gold medal together. And now they are squaring off this evening. The Division I Women's Basketball Championships tonight presented by Capital One. Substitution for Tennessee. Tabor Spaney comes on. Ariel Massengale is also checked in. Megan Simmons out on the floor. So some of the seniors have departed and the underclassmen now coming on. Monica Engelman is also into the lineup for Kansas, along with Tanea Jackson.
Well, I like the adjustment right away. Throwing Glory Johnson. Random traps at Goodrich, forcing her to get rid of the ball. 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
An errant pass. Jackson will try and hoist it up to beat the shot clock buzzer. Good defensive effort with the different lineup for Tennessee. Let's check in with Samantha.
Yeah, guys, a very intense Pat Summitt in those last two timeouts. First saying, what are we doing? We've got to figure it out. And then in this last one saying, hey, first and foremost, defense, defense, defense. Doesn't matter that we're down by 8. It starts with defense. As you guys mentioned before, Kansas is not intimidated by this team, and it's mostly because they're used to playing teams like this all season. They face Baylor twice a year and the defending national champs, A&M.
Thank you very much, Samantha. Yeah, Bonnie Henriksen was not worried in the least about any star watching or any Tennessee fears from her club.
No, and she really feels like the Big 12 prepared them not only for who they're going to face, but to make runs in postseason. And there Goodrich shows you, I can break you down off of the dribble, but if you back off of me, I can knock it down from the 3. She really worked over the summer to improve that 3-point shot.
Tennessee's got a big Goodrich problem right now. She's got 9 as Strickland catches inside and scores on the backside. Strickland, the 6'2 senior out of Morton, Arkansas. State Farm All-American last year. Goodrich. She's got Massengale now defending her, the freshman. And a 3-ball from Tanea Jackson. And Kansas has come out smoking. They are doubling up the 2 seed here in the first half.
Just playing with so much confidence offensively, moving well without the basketball, getting the ball moving from side to side, getting easy high percentage looks. As opposed to Tennessee, I feel like they're taking a lot of quick shots. They're in one-pass offense right now. They are not forcing Kansas to defend.
That's Summit wants it to start on the defensive end. This looks a lot more like their Vanderbilt loss, giving up 93 than it does the Tennessee defense of the last few weeks.
Not only did they give up 93 points, but 52 of those in the paint. Already for Kansas, 18 points in the paint.
Jayhawks have scored 16 of the last 20. Larry Johnson, a little fade away on that shot. Strickland trying to clean it up. Stays with the Lady Vols.
Angel Goodrich early in the ball game was breaking the defense down with the penetration. Then she steps back and knocks down the three-point shot. Took 20,000 shots, a part of the 20,000 shot club for Kansas over the summer. Really worked on that three ball. She felt like teams were just stepping off of her, not respecting her ability to shoot that. She worked hard over the summer to make that a strength in her game.
Common problem for a lot of point guards who come into the college game as passers or mid-range shooters, and in her words, embarrassing to see teams slacking off of her defensively last year. And she has added that element, and look at the job she's done from the regular season to the postseason in terms of her scoring. As Tabor Spaney counters with a Tennessee three.
And if Tennessee can get Tabor Spaney going, she was a player who was playing so well in the non-conference season, then went down with a bone bruise injury and has not been able to get herself back in that comfort zone offensively.
This 9 games, was out of action for a month during the middle of the season. Engelman off the crossover draws the foul.
Kansas has been in attack mode throughout the entire ball game, not intimidated in the least bit. Angel Goodrich has put this team on her back. Kansas lead 26-15.
Was a 21st century global nomad. Home was an airport lounge and an iPad. Made sure his credit score did not go bad with a freecreditscore.com app that he had. Downloaded it in the Himalayas while meditating like a true player. Now when he's surfing down in Chile, he can see when his score is in danger. If you're a mobile type on the go, I suggest you take a tip from our bro. Download the app that lets you know at freecreditscore.com.
Offer applies with enrollment in freecreditscore.com.
Everyone knows that old NASCAR legend about how drivers, go during a race. So naturally, we were curious.
Kevin, no bathroom break?
Nope, all set.
Hey, Kevin.
What's going on? Excuse me. I mean, those fire suits are made of high-tech fabric.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Looking at the rain.
Uh-huh.
You guys go on, I'll catch up.
Musicians are the heart and soul of Austin.
We're everywhere.
Parking lots, sidewalks, restaurants, festivals. I love being a part of it. And when I'm not out playing, I'm sharing my experience in the guitar department at Guitar Center. Now you can email me or any other employee in the country at guitarcenter.com for advice and expertise. It doesn't matter where you're from or how good you are. We're here to help you find the gear you need to make yours sound. We're musicians too, and we're only at Guitar Center.
Home improvement project you want to do? Take it on. Waste Management's Bagster Bag can take on the waste. The Bagster Dumpster in a Bag can handle as much renovation waste and debris as you can throw in it. Drywall, cabinets, sinks, clutter. Up to 3,300 pounds worth. Schedule collection from Waste Management, and it's gone. Take it on with the Bagster Bag, official sponsor of cleanup season. Plan your spring cleanup project at thebagster.com today.
26-15, Kansas with the lead, and a hot start for Angel Goodrich at the point for the Jayhawks.
She has been aggressive from the get-go, finding her open teammates. She has 3 assists to go along with her 9 points. She's 4 of 5 from the floor, but has really set the tone for the way that Kansas has come out aggressive, attacking this Tennessee defense.
A big story, along with the freshman post, Chelsea Gardner, who is replacing the injured Carolyn Davis, their All-America candidate, who got knocked out for the year with an ACL injury in February. 6 assists to just 1 turnover. They have played with tremendous poise. They are shredding what had been a very good Tennessee defense over the last month. They're shooting 66% from the floor.
Well, and you mentioned it, the one turnover, and Bonnie Henriksen told us we cannot turn the ball over for scores. We've got to limit our amount of turnovers, and they have done a very good job.
Strickland find herself with a lot of room down on the block for 2 more. Shakina's got 6.
We saw Tennessee really work in that short corner yesterday in practice. I feel like that's the first time they've been able to get a good look from that short corner position. And coming back in the matchup zone.
Several different looks by Tennessee defensively, trying to deal with Goodrich. Simmons with the rebound, the outlet to Massengale. Simmons with the trail 3, got it. Her shooting percentage is way up since she's been coming off the bench.
She's averaged 16.5 points in this NCAA tournament. She can be instant offense. You've got to find her in that zone.
Couple of good stops for Tennessee, trying to convert back-to-back trips. Simmons again, wide open look. Johnson hammering the glass.
You have got to check Glory Johnson. The long shot, you have to be aware of where she is and find a body, put somebody on her.
7 unanswered for the Lady Vols, and the 14-point deficit down to 6.
Well, the skip pass against the zone, and Megan Simmons eyes it up and knocks it down, and then the terrific extra pass in offense gives her a look, and what that forces the defense to do is run out. You're in scramble mode and opens up an offensive rebound opportunity for Glory Johnson.
The NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship continuing on ESPN and ESPN2 tomorrow. We'll get underway again at noon Eastern with Texas A&M and Maryland. A couple of former champs going toe-to-toe. And then St. Bonaventure, one of the Cinderella stories in this tournament, taking on the top seed in the Raleigh region, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, who were in last year's final. It's the NCAA Division I Women's Championship presented by Capital One. How do the Jayhawks respond to the first Tennessee run of the day?
And Tennessee now switching back to the 2-3, flattening out a little bit in that zone, and Kansas has got to keep that aggressive mentality.
Goodrich 3 from the corner. Holly Warlick had to turn her back and walk away. She saw what was coming right in front of her.
And good ball movement. You move the ball from one side of the floor to the other, and you get a high percentage look.
They lost Angel in the corner. Look at Warlick right there in the gray.
She says, if there's one person on the floor that we have to know where she is, it's definitely Angel Goodrich. And that's communication within that zone. You've got to communicate where those shooters are.
Strickland knocks down the free throw. Tennessee likes to establish its dominance on the glass and also at the line, which is where they can generate a lot of offense. First game of our Sweet 16 weekend here on ESPN. 4 games for you today, 4 more tomorrow, with the Elite 8 matchups on Monday and Tuesday. Kansas starting to cool off a little bit offensively. Simmons on the run. Jayhawks wanted to walk. Instead, they'll get the turnover. Goodrich. Good defense. I was going to say, Massengale able to turn her away. Gardner misses. Simmons, transition triple.
What a pass by Ariel Massengale to be able to find Simmons in stride. She just has to step in and knock it down.
Gardner fouled underneath. A
Tennessee wants an up-tempo ball game, and Simmons is able to step into her shot and let it fly in transition. Tennessee making a push on the offensive end, getting some stops on the defensive end.
Look at her through the NCAA tournament. Her three-point shooting close to 30%. In the regular season, closer to 45% in the post.
Opportunity to talk with some of the Tennessee players yesterday about how they've been able to turn this around, and it's about getting extra time in the gym, doing the work outside of practice, gaining a little bit of confidence. They've been shooting the ball better, they've been playing better on the defensive end, and these seniors take this leadership role and this responsibility. They want that on their shoulders.
And you know they're hearing it from every Tennessee alum that they come across. Every player under Coach Summit in the 31-year history of this tournament has gone to the Final Four, and this senior class has not been yet. They are on a 14-3 run right now to get back in it.
You're seeing them playing with more of a sense of urgency on the defensive end, more active feet, active hands, communicating, trying to get deflections as much as steals, and doing a good job of knowing where the Kansas players offensively are.
Pat Summit up on the sideline, as is Holly Warlick at the top of your screen. Coach Summit, through all the medical issues, has kept her sense of humor, as has the coaching staff, the runner good from Kansas. You know, usually you're only allowed one coach up on the sideline, and Holly Warlick is the designated coach. We asked Holly if any of the officials have had the nerve to ask Pat to sit down. She said, nope, not yet. Simmons, corner three. Offensive rebound, Burdick, tipped out to Kansas.
Tennessee getting some better looks because they're doing a good job of now moving that basketball. Quick passes, they're finding their open teammates.
Tennessee will take that quick shot and head the other way with it. Massengale, offensive foul, and it's Goodrich back there defensively to take the charge.
Megan Simmons has helped Tennessee close this gap. She's got 2 threes. Instant offense from the bench. Tennessee tightening it up.
The Capital One Cup congratulates the elite teams and top performances in college athletics. Congratulations to all the NCAA Division I Fall National Champions. These student athletes have fought their hardest to make this a memorable sports season, with 2 more seasons of NCAA Division I college sports to go. Follow your school and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com to see who will win the Capital One Cup and be the best in men's and women's college sports.
There was a town held captive by an evil gas pump. It fed on people's hard-earned money. But along came the Michelin Man, who reminded them the right tire changes everything. And with fuel-efficient tires in place, that evil gas pump wasn't so evil anymore. Michelin Energy Saver AS tires can help save up to 109 gallons of fuel. Michelin, a better way forward.
Open up Pizza Hut's new $10 dinner box. All your favorites all in one place. A medium 1-topping pizza, freshly baked breadsticks, and cinnamon sticks. Plus marinara and sweet icing for dipping. Best of all, the $10 dinner box is only $10 and only at your Pizza Hut.
I've been driving this funny car for over 30 years. I've got 15 championships. And I raised 4 beautiful girls. I've carried this picture for over 25 years. That's me, and that's Ashley. I got a lot of miles on me, but I'm just getting started. It's never too late to help extend your car's career with the Castro GTX family of products. Find the one that's right for your car at CastroGTX.com. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
Artists are inspired by color. So are our engineers. Wagner Thermo Quiet Brake Pads. Brakes without compromise.
Trey Wingo here with Carol Lawson and Carolyn Peck. Coming up on the Home Depot halftime report, we'll look at #1 seed Baylor in this region. But what about this game between Kansas and Tennessee?
I think you have to be impressed with how Kansas has started the game, the aggression that they've shown on the offensive end.
But the fight back that Tennessee has had, especially with Megan Simmons coming in the game.
Instant offense, instant emotion from Megan Simmons. Let's see how the first half closes. Let's go back out to Beth and Stephanie.
Thank you very much, Trey. Well, the 14-point deficit disappearing for Tennessee on a 14-5 run. They are shooting the three better, but on the defensive end is where they've turned things around. Kansas hit 12 of their first 18 shots, but have made just 2 of their last 8 serves.
Well, and Tennessee allowed 16 points in the paint the first 12 minutes, or the first 8 minutes of the ball game, and since then only 4. So they've done a better job of tightening it up on the defensive end.
The changes coming actually when they went to the bench and brought in the underclass substitutes, including Massengale spending some time defending Goodrich. Right now, it's Megan Simmons on the ball. And they forced the turnover. Third of this first half for Kansas. The 11 seed trying to get to the Elite 8, match what Gonzaga did last year. The lowest seed to the Elite 8. The lowest seeded team to the Final Four. Gary Blair's Arkansas Razorbacks were a 9 seed back in 1998.
Tennessee has turned up their defensive pressure. They have forced Kansas to play outside the three-point line.
Gardner active early, quiet since, but Chelsea will head to the free throw line. And 1:51 to go in the half. Burdick picking up her second foul. Well, we've got the Frozen Four coming up from Tampa. A regional doubleheader starting tonight. UMass Lowell and Union at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN. Year 3 in the Watch ESPN app. Follow every championship at NCAA.com. Your home for all 89 NCAA championships. Of course, the Kansas men are still alive. They won last night, so they will be playing in the Elite 8. The Kansas women trying to join them. The Baylor men were winners. They're off to the Elite 8. The Baylor women are up next here in Des Moines, led by Brittany Griner and company. They will take on Georgia Tech for a spot in the Elite 8.
And Kentucky, the third team to have both programs in the Sweet 16.
That's Maroons, former Purdue national champion Stephanie White. Samantha Steele also with us here in Des Moines. Offensive rebound for Tennessee. They are starting to dominate on the glass as Strickland is fouled on the drive.
And that's the 9th offensive rebound for Tennessee, and was one of the concerns for Bonnie Henriksen. Kansas cannot allow Tennessee those other opportunities. Even if they're not direct putbacks, they give more offensive possessions.
First foul on Harper. Strickland to the line. Her 138th career game. She has started all but one when Coach Summit and the staff wanted to send a message mid-season. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride this year for this Tennessee team, both on and off the court, with Coach Summit's medical issues, but trying to find some consistency on the floor as well.
And it's interesting talking to the Tennessee staff, and they said, you know, it just depends on which team shows up. And this senior class has really tried to give them more consistency, at least to start the basketball game and take ownership over the way that they start.
Foul's going to be called on the Lady Vols. That'll be on Glory Johnson, her first. That is now 6 on the team, so the next one will head Kansas to the line. Goodrich to a wide open Sutherland on the inbound. Missed the chippy. Ball with the rebound.
And Aisha Sutherland having a hard time putting the ball in the bucket. She's getting a lot of mid-range pull-ups. She's got to find a way to get some stuff going to the rim.
Quick shot allows Kansas the breakout. Sutherland, stick back, good hustle in transition.
And that's one of the areas that she can hurt Tennessee, crashing the offensive glass. She's a tremendous rebounder. She said, my job is to defend and rebound the basketball.
I think the shocking story thus far is Kansas' success in the paint against this Tennessee team. Simmons.
Good decision by Goodrich. She wants to make sure they get the last shot going into halftime.
Final seconds. Goodrich for three. Doesn't get the hop. Strickland with time. Gonna come up short. 35-30. Kansas looking for the biggest win in school history, led by the diminutive Angel Goodrich, putting up big numbers today. Let's get down to the court now, and Samantha.
Coach, I know it wasn't the start you were hoping for, but obviously a big difference there towards the end. What was the change in momentum for you?
Well, I thought we were playing with low energy at the beginning of the game, and we weren't rebounding, we weren't making shots, and Kansas was penetrating on us, and you've got to do something right, and we were just a collection of not doing everything right, so we finally settled down and defended them a little bit better.
You told us yesterday you were going to have to guard Angel Goodrich by committee. What's the plan for her in the second half?
Well, we're just going to keep mixing up our zone and our man on her. We can't limit her touches because she's the point guard. Just try to make sure she doesn't get open looks.
All right, I'll let you get in there. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Down by 14 at the 9-minute mark. Tennessee down 5 at the break with Kansas strong early. Here's Trey Wingo in the Home Depot halftime report.
All right, Beth, thank you. What a first half for Kansas. Last 4 in, according to the committee. They don't plan on ending this anytime soon. Trey Wingo here with Carol Lawson and the coach, Carolyn Peck. It is a 5-point lead for the Jayhawks. You heard Beth Moen say, Carolyn, at one point it was 14. What was Kansas doing that enabled them to build this big lead?
They were able to get the ball inside against the Tennessee zone. See, a lot of times you play a zone to keep the ball out of the paint, but Kansas would have none of that, and they were going inside easily. They were playing in the lanes offensively. A lot of times in a zone, you go where the defense is. Kansas does a good job of going where the defense is not. And Chelsea Gardner, a freshman, has stepped up big. With Carolyn Davis being out with that ACL, Kansas hadn't missed a beat, with the freshman coming in and getting better every time she steps on the floor.
All that paint stuff is really, really nice, and all those highlights of those big players. I want to talk about the little players. I want to talk about the point guard, Angel Goodrich, and this is a player that has carried this offense through the tournament, and not just Tennessee, but Delaware. Teams have not, Nebraska, not been able to stop her penetration and getting into the lane, but she also has the ability to knock down that three-point shot. So against the zone, if you can get in the paint, you can knock down shots from beyond the arc. You like your offense, and you like the way this Kansas Jayhawk team is playing on that end of the floor.
Okay, as we said, at one point it was a 2-touchdown lead, 14 points. They've gotten it back. Tennessee has to 5. What were they able to do to make this run? Because at one point they could not hit a bucket.
Well, not only could they not hit a bucket, you just didn't sense the same energy and the same fire that Kansas had on the offensive end of the floor. And I think the player that came in and that really injected Tennessee with a lot of energy was Megan Simmons. I mean, sometimes she takes questionable shots. Absolutely. But the passion that she played with on the offensive end, we even saw her getting after Goodrich and forcing a turnover on the defensive end. I thought that was huge for Tennessee in the first half.
What I saw from Tennessee early on is what I saw in their Arkansas game that they lost. Arkansas kept their composure, played with a lot of confidence, and Tennessee looked worried.
Yeah, here's the problem with the three-point shots. They start to fall, you fall in love with them, then you keep throwing them up there. Keep in mind they had a couple of big threes that got them back into this game, but for the game, they're just 3 of 13 on those three-point shots. Meanwhile, Kansas much more judicial with the 3-ball. 3 of 7, 43% shooting. Lots more coming here on the Home Depot halftime report, including a look at the #1 seed in the Des Moines region, the Baylor Lady Bears. Unfinished business, the phrase in Waco.
This halftime report is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
We'll take 2 chicken pot pies.
The KFC Chunky Chicken Pot Pie. Freshly baked with our signature recipe and loaded with chunks of chicken and vegetables. Try it now, just $3.99.
Classic, man. Yeah, classic.
need to laugh, and when the sun is out, I've got something I can laugh about.
Wherever you've been, whatever you've been through, we have a warm welcome waiting for you at more than 280 hotels around the world. DoubleTree by Hilton, where the little things mean everything.
We'll take 2 chicken pot pie.
The KFC Chunky Chicken Pot Pie. Freshly baked with our signature recipe and loaded with chunks of chicken and vegetables. Try it now, just $3.99.
Classic, man.
Yeah, classic.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
We're back. This is Lisa. She wants to change security firms.
Number one, if I switch to your company, how will you treat me?
Well, I think a little mystery is a good thing, like wondering when we'll be there and who to call.
No. Number two.
I take your security personally. Keeping promises, being there are key. So is working on your schedule.
I'm going to go with number two.
As the second largest security company, Protection One provides truly personal service from large corporations to homeowners. Call 866-766-1881 today.
Let's say you work here, but need a professional business presence here, or need to meet with clients here. It's easy with a Regis virtual office. You'll get a professional business address to call your own, a receptionist to provide unlimited call answering, access to meeting rooms, and use of a private office. With over 1,200 global locations, it's easy to have a business presence wherever you need one. Call 1-800-OFFICES and get 2 months free. That's 1-800-OFFICES.
All right, Kansas and Tennessee playing for the right to move on to the Elite Eight. Well, they will await the winner of the game coming up later on today between Baylor, the #1 overall seed in the tournament, and Georgia Tech. Baylor 36-0 has a chance to go 40-0 if they win a national championship. Nobody's ever done that before. The fuel for their fire this season about what didn't happen a year ago.
Giga Maggies, they're going to the Final Four for the first time.
I was speechless because we didn't give it our all, so I felt like that's what really hurt us the most.
We're always conscious of it. We know what we need to do. We know what happened last year, and, you know, it's on our mind.
When you look back and think about it, I mean, it's over. There's really nothing too much you can do about it except go for it again next year.
Each year I have a different motto, if that's what you want to call it. And that just struck me that we just really didn't finish the way we wanted to.
Got these wristbands, and everybody wears them in practice, everywhere we go. Last year, you know, we didn't take care of our business, so this year's motto was unfinished business.
It's just something that when you shoot, when you pass, when you dribble, you're reminded what's written on there. I want them to be reminded that we didn't get the job done last year, and it's not something that I really have to verbally say every day. They're reminded of it just by knowing what's on that wrist.
When we get out there on the court and we feel like we fatigued, we tired, we just look down on our wristband and be like, we have business to take care of and a championship we have to strive for.
Off one throw! 1, 2, 3!
We're just trying to win the national championship, but we have to take it one game at a time. Nothing's guaranteed.
If we lose one of these games and we go whatever and won, it's like your season was nothing.
We haven't accomplished anything yet. Yeah, people say that we're undefeated and can they finish? Well, we must finish now to reach the ultimate goal.
Of course, they've been there before in 2005. Do you sense a different presence on this team from a year ago?
I do think that it has manifested itself on the court for this team this season. When you look at Baylor, and particularly in Brittany Griner on the offensive end, I mean, she's more demanding. She wants to be more impactful on that end of the floor. This has always been a great defensive team, but I think it shows in her attention to detail on the offensive end.
Well, it's been in my experience when I coached Purdue, we lost in the Elite Eight, and that unfinished business, it helps in the off season. And that work that you do gives you the confidence. So you're not reminded of that game, but you know the work you put in the offseason. So your focus is only to get to that national championship game.
Well, that next step comes up later on today against Georgia Tech in the Des Moines region. Baylor, of course, the #1 overall seed, unbeaten in the tournament. Meanwhile, or in the season. Meanwhile, in the tournament right now, Megan Simmons, spark plug off the bench for Tennessee, a couple of big threes, but it is a Kansas 5-point lead at the break.
This halftime report is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
This one's for all us lawnsmiths, grass gurus, doers. Here's to more Saturdays in the sun and budgets better spent. Here's to turning rookies into experts and shoppers into savers. Here's to picking up, trading up, mixing it up. To well-earned muddy boots and a lot more spring per dollar. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Break out the gardening gloves. Miracle Grow Garden Soil is now 3 bags for $10.
A Masters Moment, brought to you by ExxonMobil. 2000, it was distance and accuracy that dominated Vijay Singh's winning play at Augusta National. Singh led the field in reaching greens in regulation, making 58 of 72, 80% in spite of blustery conditions. It helped the Fijian win his first green jacket and second major title with a 10-under par total of 278.
America is facing some tough challenges right now. 2 of the most important are energy security and economic growth. North America actually has one of the largest oil reserves in the world. A large part of that is oil sands. This resource has the ability to create hundreds of thousands of jobs. At our Curl project in Canada, we'll be able to produce these oil sands with the same emissions as many other oils, and that's a huge breakthrough. That's good for our country's energy security and our economy.
Let's level the playing field. Take the privileged investing tools of Wall Street and make them simple, intuitive, and available to all. Distill all that data. Make information instinctual, visual. Introducing Trade Architect, TD Ameritrade's empowering web-based trading platform. Take control of your portfolio today. Trade commission-free for 60 days, and we'll throw in up to $600 when you open an account.
Division I student athletes have higher SAT and ACT scores than college-bound students.
The number of us receiving diplomas
is at an all-time high.
African-American males who are student athletes
are 10% more likely to graduate.
Still think we're just a bunch of dumb jocks?
You need to do your homework.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA's consent is prohibited.
Don't forget, lots more action throughout the day. Coming up tonight, St. John's, Kim Barnes-Arico and company taking on second-seeded Duke. That game at 9 on ESPN. And then 11:30, Stanford Cardinal, #1 seed in the Fresno region on ESPN2, taking on Dawn Staley and South Carolina. Stanford trying to get to their 5th straight Final Four. All right, keys to the second half here. Let's start with you in Kansas. They got a 5-point lead.
It's going to be a matter, can Kansas sustain their composure when Tennessee makes their runs? Tennessee made a run in the second part of the first half, and Kansas was able to maintain a lead. They can't get into a running game and start jacking up shots. Experience is going to be huge.
I think when you look for Tennessee, it just comes down to their defense. And this has been a team that has been inconsistent all year long defensively. If they tighten up the ship, if they can contain penetration on the defensive end, then they can win this game. If they don't, Angel Goodrich is going to continue to get to the basket, and Kansas is going to pull off the upset.
Well, they've pulled off a couple of upsets already. Last 4 in, they're up by 5 at half at the Sweet 16 with a chance to go to the Elite 8. And there's that defense leading to offense you were talking about. Angel Goodrich has Kansas up by 5.
Today, we stand against the tyranny of media travel cards.
Battle speech, right?
May I?
Capital One is issuing a Venture Double Miles Challenge. Show us how much you spent last year, and we'll give you 2 miles for every $1 spent on your travel reward card, up to 100,000 miles.
Hawaii, here we come.
Claim your miles at CapitalOne.com today.
What's in your wallet? Can you play games on that?
Not on the runway.
True, no one knows what the future holds. But from where we sit, the next 2 years are looking pretty good. Introducing the Experience Buick Lease. Get 2 years of premium services for one simple monthly payment. Like this one on the 36-mile per gallon LaCrosse with e-assist technology. And pay absolutely nothing at lease signing. Consider it a new lease on luxury.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Home improvement project you want to do? Take it on. Waste Management's Bagster Bag can take on the waste. The Bagster Dumpster in a Bag can handle as much renovation waste and debris as you can throw in it. Drywall, cabinets, sinks, clutter. Up to 3,300 pounds worth. Schedule collection from Waste Management, and it's gone. Take it on with the Bagster Bag, official sponsor of cleanup season. Plan your spring cleanup project at thebagster.com today.
Musicians are the heart and soul of Austin.
We're everywhere.
Parking lots, sidewalks, restaurants, festivals. I love being a part of it. And when I'm not out playing, I'm sharing my experience in the guitar department at Guitar Center. Now you can email me or any other employee in the country at guitarcenter.com for advice and expertise. It doesn't matter where you're from or how good you are. We're here to help you find the gear you need to make yours sound. We're musicians too, and we're only at Guitar Center.
Welcome back to the regional semifinals of the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. They're in Des Moines, Iowa, our first of two today, and Kansas looking for the upset and the biggest win in school history if they can finish it out over the last 20 minutes. Beth Mullins along with former Purdue national champion Stephanie White. A hot start for Kansas and then a quick counter by Tennessee.
It certainly was a half of runs. Kansas came out the aggressor right away. 18 early points in the paint. Then Tennessee had an answer. They locked down on the defensive end. Their bench came in, 9 points off the bench, and really got a run.
Let's check in now with Samantha Steele.
Yeah, guys, Bonnie Henriksen not satisfied with the way they finished out that first half. She said they were aggressive and they were able to do some of the things they wanted to do, but the biggest concern is uncontested shots in the corners. She said we gave up way too many of those. We also need to match up better in transition. And she said what every basketball coach says, we need to box out.
A rebounding advantage for Tennessee on the stat sheet. Kansas getting some good scoring from their three big guns. Goodrich, Sutherland, and Gardner leading the way. And Sutherland now into double digits with 10. They both start out this second half along with Harper and Knight.
And that's an important shot for Sutherland to knock down. She's been getting that free throw line jumper against the Tennessee zone. If she can hit that consistently, it will create a lot of problems.
And then the freshman Gardner with the block of Glory Johnson. Johnson's out there with Strickland and Baugh, the seniors, and then the underclassmen Massengale and Megan Simmons to start out for Tennessee in the white jerseys.
And we see Tennessee already changing it up again, going from the zone in the initial possession to man-to-man.
Into the hands of Goodrich to try and make a play. Ball with the rebound. 4-on-2 Tennessee. The big girl leading the break, and Strickland fouled on the shot. The 11 seed Kansas Jayhawks. How about a number 11? There's 2 of them in this tournament. 9 teams have reached the Sweet 16 from that seed. Only Gonzaga last year advanced further. And if Kansas can continue this remarkable run as one of the last 4 teams into the tournament and get all the way to the Final Four, they would be the lowest seed to ever get there.
On a Kansas team that really limped into the postseason. Finished only winning 3 of going 3-8 in their last 11 games. Got a huge win on the road at Oklahoma in the absence of Carolyn Davis since her injury, her knee injury February 12th against Kansas State. But they have flipped the switch, turned the page, and played outstanding basketball in the NCAA tournament.
Gardner slips the screen, assist by Goodrich. And an 8-point lead for Kansas. And they knock out the 2-seed Tennessee in what has been a roller coaster of a ride this year. Ball misses the layup. An unsettled season in Knoxville, and it started over the summer with Pat Summitt announcing publicly that she has early onset dementia, Alzheimer's type. As Strickland scores and draws the foul. It's a condition that usually progresses slowly, causing a gradual decline in your cognitive abilities, and Coach Summitt has changed her role. Associate head coach Holly Warlick and the longtime assistants Mickey DeMoss, Dean Lockwood, taking a lot more responsibility on this year in their game preparations. Coach Summitt has been spending more and more time working with individuals on a daily basis in practice and in games.
And Holly Warlick told us it's almost like our roles have switched. She's working more one-on-one with players, and I'm looking at the big picture. And it certainly does make an impact when she has the opportunity to pull a player aside, such as Shakina Strickland, who she did in the SEC tournament, and say, you've got to play better for us to be successful.
Simmons has it knocked loose, but they're able to pick it up and score. Coach Summitt and the coaching staff all telling us once again that they fully expect, as of now, for Pat Summitt to return next season. There has not been any official word from the athletic department about long-term plans, but it is certainly a degenerative disease that Coach Summitt will be dealing with the rest of her life, so you never know. And there has been some talk in newspaper reports in Tennessee, as well as Jerry Longman doing a nice piece for the New York Times recently, asking that question of whether or not this could be Coach Summitt's last NCAA tournament.
Well, there's certainly much speculation as to what could happen. You know, no greater opponent for this disease than Pat Summitt, and she certainly has the platform to affect a lot of people's lives, not because of what she has done on the basketball court, but now the disease that she is fighting.
Well, the resume is unmatched. Over 1,000 wins. 111 NCAA tournament wins. Remarkable what she's done in the postseason with 18 Final Fours in the 8 national championships, the last of which came in 2008 when they went back-to-back with Candace Parker.
Well, and Pat Summitt has said, we want to cut down the nets at least one more time before I hang it up.
They've got the number 5 ranked recruiting class from the ESPN Hoop Girls coming in next year. Massengale hits for 3. And Tennessee down by as many as 14 are now within 1.
Well, Tennessee, a much better effort on the defensive end. Their energy is better. They're more active. They're forcing Kansas to be uncomfortable offensively.
Goodrich defended by Massengale. Off the bottom of the net. And picked up nicely and put back in by CeCe Harper, the sophomore from San Antonio.
Tennessee really pushing that pace. Not only pushing off of misses, but off of makes as well. And Massengale coming off the bench and hits 2 big threes.
And a bump at midcourt. Foul will be on the freshman out of Bolingbrook, Illinois, Ariel Massengale. That's her second. Here she is, the second of her back-to-back.
And that's good recognition by Glory Johnson. She sees the double team, finds her teammate, and Massengale knocks it down.
We saw there too, Stephanie, the attention that Glory gets from the defense and the openings that can create for others.
Glory Johnson's such an unselfish player. She just wants to do whatever she can to help her team, and she has the ability to affect the game in a lot of different ways.
Sutherland off the crossover, leaning into Johnson, rebounded by Strickland, and Tennessee can take the lead. Off the fingertips of Vicky Baugh and out. Tied up, Kansas and Tennessee for a spot in the Elite Eight.
Get ready for opening day with baseball tonight.
True, no one knows what the future holds. But from where we sit, the next 2 years are looking pretty good. Introducing the experienced Buick lease. Get 2 years of premium services for one simple monthly payment. Like this one on the 36-mile-per-gallon LaCrosse with e-assist technology. And pay absolutely nothing at lease signing. Consider it a new lease on luxury.
Oh, I've been good to you.
Everyone likes to be recognized for doing the right thing. That's why at Travelers, we reward good behavior by offering valuable discounts and features. Call 1-888-208-4024 or visit goodbehavior.com to see the ways you can save money. Like saving up to 25% on auto insurance by insuring your car, home, and more with Travelers. And taking extra care on the road may get you our Safe Driver Advantage. And loyal customers may even benefit from accident forgiveness for when there's a bump in the road. So call today and you can get rewarded for the good things you do, but maybe nobody noticed.
Good job.
Travelers, rewarding good behavior. For a quote or to find a local agent, call 1-888-208-4024 or visit goodbehavior.com today.
There was a town held captive by an evil gas pump. It fed on people's hard-earned money. But along came the Michelin Man, who reminded them the right tire changes everything. And with fuel-efficient tires in place, that evil gas pump wasn't so evil anymore. Michelin Energy Saver AS tires can help save up to 109 gallons of fuel. Michelin, a better way forward.
Summit. She's been here 8 times. And she finally has the win. 13 years at Tennessee, 11 consecutive seasons of 20 or more wins.
Pat Summit and Destiny have met 7 times before. Tonight is number 8.
From her first title in Austin to her most recent in Tampa, no one has had a better seat alongside Pat Summit's success than her son. And here's Samantha.
Tyler, I don't even know if you were born when she won her first championship, were you?
I was not. Just the last 6, not the first 2.
So you got most of it. Well, Tyler, most of us feel like we know your mom, even if we don't, because of all that she's meant to women's basketball. What do you hope people will know about your mother?
I think just her caring nature. You know, you see the fierce competitor on the sidelines, but you don't see that she really is a mother to her players. She's not only teaching them how to be great players, but how to be great people in the world.
What's this outpouring of support been like after your mom so bravely talked about the medical difficulties she's dealing with?
It's been incredible. And one thing we've tried to do by starting the Pat Summit Foundation is really get all the support together and organize it. And so people can go to patsummit.org and look at that and join our team and join the fight against Alzheimer's.
Now, you've been here, you watched the first half. You know how much your mom wants another. What would it mean to win one more national championship?
Well, you know, even if I try to bring it up with her, she's focused on one game at a time. And so I can't even talk about national championships. Right now, it's just Kansas, Kansas, Kansas. So
I'm glad she gives Coach Speak to you, too, because everybody gives it to me. Thanks, Tyler.
Have a good one.
Thank you very much, Samantha. And Tennessee with its first lead since their first basket of the game at 2-0. They've been down by as many as 14 today. Gardner can't convert on the putback.
And all of those looks that were falling for Kansas early, not falling right now. Tennessee being the aggressor on both ends.
Sutherland corralled the rebound, but then gets called for the walk. Bonnie Henriksen, who as a graduate assistant once worked Pat Summit's camp. And then talked about the privilege of being in the Sweet 16, matching wits against the legend.
Well, there were so many young coaches who were influenced by Pat Summitt and her caring nature that Tyler was talking about. She always has time to help young coaches, and every single coach that you speak with will reference when Pat Summitt took the time to talk to me, when Pat Summitt took the time to help me.
Knight driving down the lane, goes to the left hand. There's the dribble penetration that really helped Kansas in the first half.
And they've got to be back to being the aggressor offensively. They're getting some easy looks that aren't falling, but penetration, break down that defense, get some more high percentage looks.
Simmons off the bounce, leaves it for Vicky Baugh, draws the foul on Gardner. And it's the second on Gardner, and a couple of free throws for Vicky Baugh, 71% on the season. The graduate student who played in the Final Four in 2008 had the ACL injury early in the championship win over Stanford. So was a part of that Final Four team. And now trying to get this batch of Lady Vols back to the Final Four and competing for a title. Glory Johnson, offensive rebound. This is Tennessee's game in a nutshell. Crash the boards, get to the line.
And one of Bonnie Henriksen's main concerns was keeping them off the glass. She said, we have to limit their second chance points. As you see Glory Johnson just making her move and getting around Gardner, and keep them off the free throw line. They create so many scoring opportunities from the foul line as well as from offensive rebounds.
That's the third foul on Gardner. She will check out. Sutherland returns. Could be extended minutes now here for Tanea Jackson, their reserve post player. Tennessee's biggest lead at just 3 points. They've been trailing throughout. Winner advances to the Elite Eight Monday night to face either Baylor or Georgia Tech. Brittany Griner and the Lady Bears are coming up next here in Des Moines.
Ariel Massengale just doing a tremendous job on Goodrich. She's keeping her off balance. She's very active on the basketball. And now Megan Simmons has her shot.
Goodrich down the lane. Ping pong's back out to Kansas. Bothered by Strickland.
And I think that's a perfect example of the Kansas offense the last few possessions. They can't quite get into it. Tennessee's doing a much better job defensively, and Ariel Massengale off the bench has been a huge lift, setting the tone on both ends.
8 points off the bench for Massengale. Kansas didn't stop ball, and the Lady Vols lead matches their rookie point guard's number.
True, no one knows what the future holds. But from where we sit, the next 2 years are looking pretty good. Introducing the Experience Buick Lease. Get 2 years of premium services for one simple monthly payment. Like this one on the 36-mile-per-gallon LaCrosse with e-assist technology. And pay absolutely nothing at lease signing. Consider it a new lease on luxury.
Open up Pizza Hut's new $10 dinner box. All your favorites, all in one place. A medium one-topping pizza, freshly baked breadsticks and cinnamon sticks, plus marinara and sweet icing for dipping. Best of all, the $10 dinner box is only $10 and only at your Pizza Hut.
Life is full of little twists and turns. ING can help you take the right steps along the way. The first step is finding your number, the amount you need to save to retire the way you want while protecting the ones you love. Learn more at ing.com/US.
Artists are inspired by color. So are our engineers. Wagner Thermo Quiet Brake Pads. Brakes without compromise.
Good morning. and sunshine greet the day and the light. It's time to go outside. If you could keep steady, get up and get ready. It's time to go outside.
Spring is in the air. Lowe's, never stop improving.
Kansas very concerned with Tennessee's runs. They had a big one in the first half and now a 13-4 effort in the second.
Well, Tennessee's turned up their defensive intensity, but they've been the aggressor offensively. And 8 points all in the second half by Ariel Massengale really gave this Tennessee team a lift.
Look at the shooting in the second half for Tennessee. You know, the players were telling us how much momentum and energy they draw from their defense to generate their offense, and that's been the case here in the second half.
And the depth of Tennessee, I think we're really starting to see it come into play. Players coming off the bench. Megan Simmons in the first half gives him 8 points in the first half and 6 points off of threes. But then defensively allowing them to change the look on Angel Goodrich, really picking up that defensive intensity.
Here is Massengale defending on Goodrich, making it much more difficult for them to get into their offensive flow. Swatted out of bounds by Strickland on the drive by Harper.
But if you see in this man-to-man defense, no easy entries. Not only great ball pressure, but in passing lanes, not allowing Kansas to pass the ball around. And 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Let's see if they recognize.
Goodrich goes and gets. Slicing through the defense for the pull-up.
She has such good poise with the basketball. She's able to split that defender because of the slight, she raises her body a little bit, gets the defender to rise up, and then splits that defense.
Simmons off the bounce. He's got 10, so terrific bench support for Tennessee today. 18 points between her and Massengale. Sutherland on the backdoor cut. Held ball will go to the Lady Vols. With possession and the 5-point lead in the Sweet 16.
The Can-Am Renegade 1000 XXC with the most powerful engine in the industry. The Outlander 1000 XT with a redesigned chassis for unequal trail riding. The Commander 1000 Limited, the most equipped, luxurious side-by-side in the industry. The facts say it's the most advanced lineup out there, but the ride says it all. Buy now and start riding for as low as $149 a month on select models.
Gear up for March Madness at the NCAA official online store, ncaa.com/shop. With over 100,000 items for over 500 teams, everything you need for college hoops is in one location. You'll get 365-day hassle-free returns, $4.99 flat rate shipping on every order, and Sweet 16, Final Four, and National Championship merchandise will be available immediately following the games. So for the best in college basketball gear, head to ncaa.com/shop.
Bounce any checks lately? These days, banks can charge up to $30 a pop. But what about those checks you have to write? Call or go to moneymutual.com. We have the largest network of short-term lenders who could get you up to $1,000 in your checking account by tomorrow. No more bounced checks, no collection calls, no shut-off of services. Just be 18 or older with a minimum income of $800 a month. For short-term cash when you need it fast, go to moneymutual.com or call 1-800-585-CASH now.
Home improvement project you want to do? Take it on. Waste Management's Bagster Bag can take on the waste. The Bagster Dumpster in a Bag can handle as much renovation waste and debris as you can throw in it. Drywall, cabinets, sinks, clutter. Up to 3,300 pounds worth. Schedule collection from Waste Management, and it's gone. Take it on with the Bagster Bag, official sponsor of cleanup season. Plan your spring cleanup project at thebagster.com today.
Well, the underlying theme of all that success, 8 national championships, she actually failed on her first 7 trips to the Final Four before breaking through. And look at the tremendous consistency over the decades for Pat Summitt, her Lady Vols seeking a 9th national championship, which would put her just one shy of UCLA's legendary coach John Wooden all time. She has more than anybody else on the women's side. They are the 2 seed against the 11 seed here in Des Moines. Top seeded Baylor and the 4 seed Georgia Tech coming up next. The 1 seed in Fresno, Stanford, they play South Carolina tonight, and the other 2 number 1s, Notre Dame will meet St. Bonaventure tomorrow in Raleigh. UConn will face Penn State tomorrow in Kingston. And as Brittany Griner and her teammates await, they will face a Georgia Tech team that will really push tempo, that will throw a lot of different defenses. They're going to challenge Baylor's ability to recognize and adjust. And a big second half burst here by the Lady Vols to open up the lead after trailing by double digits in the first half. 23 bench points for the Lady Vols. Simmons with 12, Massengale with 8 leading the way.
Well, in Kansas offensively really having a tough time getting into anything. Tennessee picked up that defensive effort.
Goodrich, nice delivery to Gardner. Strickland off balance the other way, and a chance here for Kansas.
And if you notice, what Kansas has done is they've moved Goodrich off of the ball. They're running her off the screens, getting her curl opportunities. When she curls that tight, help has to come, and she's able to find her teammates.
Sutherland started hot, chilled considerably in the middle part of this game, and now trying to heat back up.
6 of 19 is Aisha Sutherland. They need offensive production from her. But right now, Kansas has to find a way to get stops on the defensive end.
Massengale picked up the dribble, looking for help. Ball with the release, off the bounce. Gardner corrals it. Working against the man D. Gardner probes the baseline. Tough shot there from Harper. And now Simmons behind the back to the left side. No, Strickland misses the bunny. Simmons way up for the rebound, and the 3rd time's a charm.
Well, Megan Simmons has been terrific off the bench for Tennessee. She has brought a different energy level since she first entered the game in the first half. You know, we think so much about her inks in offense, but even on the defensive end, particularly in this ball game, she has picked up that energy. She's picking up the basketball. She's switching out on Goodrich, forcing different looks for Kansas.
Jayhawks still in striking distance, thanks to Angel Goodrich, who will head to the free throw line.
And Megan Simmons in transition, goes behind the back, not quite able to convert. You see 3 Tennessee jerseys right there on the offensive glass. They continue to work it, continue to crash.
Angel Goodrich, who has bounced back from not 1 but 2 ACL injuries, 1 to each knee, says, I've come back quicker, I've come back stronger, I've certainly come back mentally tougher than before. She's responsible for over 40% of their scoring this year with her shooting and her assists. Shakina Strickland cramping up, getting some assistance. Lady Vols with the ball and the 4-point lead, under 9 to go. Kamiko Williams now into the game, number 4 in white. Massengale had it blocked by Gardner.
We talked early in the ball game about Tennessee offensively. They were taking a lot of quick shots. But since about that 8-minute mark in the first half, they have been aggressive. They have worked the ball from side to side. Much more comfortable offensively, much more energy defensively.
Shot clock to 5. Williams off the bounce, got it.
The depth of Tennessee to continue to bring in new players who are able to impact the ball game. Kamiko Williams' primary focus is defensively on Angel Goodrich, but able to put a couple points on the board for the Lady Vols.
Goodrich off the mark. Massengale, the long pass to Johnson and a foul. And for exclusive coverage of the NCAA Women's Tournament, log on to ESPNW.com with special features, blogs, podcasts. Rebecca Lobo's got her 5 questions. That's all on ESPNW.com, the home for women's sports.
Beth, that was a heck of a pass. Two-handed chest pass, almost 3/4 length of the floor, right on the money for Glory Johnson.
Really like the sight of Ariel Massengale out there on the open floor, and Johnson knocks down the second free throw as well.
Well, Ariel Massengale started much of the season at that point position and had a lot of pressure on her coming into this season. When she was in high school as a senior, Pat Summitt had made it public that she would be our starting point guard when she gets to Tennessee, and she has certainly lived up to the expectations.
Gardner. Here's a youngster whose stock is on the rise, big time, working on a double-double today.
As the season has worn on, not only has continued to get more minutes in the absence of Carolyn Davis, but has stepped up to the challenge.
That's a big girl board right there for Vicky Baugh.
And the understanding of where she was underneath the rim and finish on the other side with the left hand.
Seniors don't want to go home yet for Tennessee. Can they hold off Kansas? Williams to Simmons. Timeout Jayhawks, and the lead is up to 10. Megan Simmons and Ariel Massengale coming off the bench big time today.
And Tennessee pushing that tempo. We talked earlier about how they would like it to be an up and down game. They can use their depth. The bench for Tennessee has stepped up and given them a lift.
On senior day, Holly Warlick, Pat Summitt, the coaching staff said, it's in the hands of the seniors. It's your responsibility. One of the things that resulted was Ariel Massengale and Megan Simmons went from starters to reserves. And instead of pouting and hanging their heads, they said, all right, it's the seniors carrying the reins. We'll do what we can off the bench. And how about tonight off the bench? 29 points led by those two ladies right there to assist the seniors in their quest for a championship.
Well, this senior class, the only class who has not been to a Final Four since 1976. Every Lady Vol has played in a Final Four. They do not want their mark on the program to be the only class to have not gotten there.
Sutherland fouled by Johnson. Jayhawks with some free throws when we come back.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. What's in your wallet?
Today, we stand against the tyranny of meager travel cards.
Battle speech, right?
May I?
Capital One is issuing a Venture Double Miles Challenge. Show us how much you spent last year. It will give you 2 miles for every $1 spent on your travel reward card, up to 100,000 miles.
Hawaii, here we come.
Claim your miles at CapitalOne.com today.
What's in your wallet? Can you play games on that?
Not on the runway.
Oh.
We'll take 2 chicken pot pie.
The KFC Chunky Chicken Pot Pie. Freshly baked with our signature recipe and loaded with chunks of chicken and vegetables. Try it now, just $3.99.
Classic, man.
Yeah, classic.
So, Mr. Coach Knight,
I did a discount double check and combed through your policies and found you hundreds in savings.
Well, thank you for that.
So you're happy?
Don't I look happy?
The discount double check. Get happy when you save.
Hey, thanks again.
I've been driving this funny car for over 30 years. I've been on fire from here to Australia. I've won hundreds of races, and I've won 15 championships. I'm 61 years old, but let me tell you, I never stop believing. So if you want to help extend your car's career like I've extended mine, the family of Castrol GTX Motor Oils can help. Find the one that's right for your car at CastrolGTX.com. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
We picked a great seafood place. It's a tad bit pricey. And hopefully we caught the chef on a good night.
Golden Corral's pan-seared seafood and more. Delicious tilapia, shrimp scampi, sirloin, beef tips, and more. All on our endless dinner buffet, still for one low price, only at Golden Corral.
The start of our Sweet 16 weekend on ESPN. Brittany Griner chilling out before the #1 seed in the Des Moines region takes the court. Coming up next against Georgia Tech. And Brittany Griner, second most blocks in NCAA history. She has the NCAA tournament record and led the nation with over 5 per game this year. Altering the game offensively and defensively. Here's the dunk against Florida in the second round.
She told us, I didn't really expect to dunk it. It was just right there. And when I went up, had the opportunity to put it down. That's how easy it is for Brittany Griner. You see the unfinished business. That has been their team mantra all season long. When they lost in the Elite Eight to Texas A&M, the eventual national championship, the eventual national champion, and went home, and unfinished business is what they feel like they have.
Kansas coach Bonnie Henriksen had one of the better descriptions I've heard about Brittany Griner when she told us yesterday, Brittany is a one-woman 55-point swing. The 25 she scores on you, and the 30 she takes away from you on the defensive end. Unfortunately for the Jayhawks, they saw her up close and personal twice this season. It wasn't pretty. Kansas team, third trip to the Sweet 16, trying to go further than they've ever been. And this would be a remarkable feat coming from double digits down in the second half against the Lady Vols if they can do it.
Well, we spoke early on about the depth of Tennessee and how important it would be. 31 points off the bench right now. Those players have continued to step up. Tennessee also 18 second chance points. The concern for Kansas was that defensive rebounding and keeping Tennessee off of the boards.
Goodrich stepping out beyond the arc. Around and out. Johnson saves it to Ball. Kamika Williams has Simmons on the run. Textbook break by Tennessee.
The change in energy. Holly Warlick said at halftime she felt like they were flat, didn't come out with a lot of energy. The energy on the defensive end has led to their offensive scoring output.
This is the nightmare that Bonnie Henriksen didn't want to see. She told us we cannot let our offense become Tennessee's offense. And it just happened right there with the giveaway. Let's go inside the play and some transition from Tennessee.
Well, Tennessee does a good job of long outlets. We'll see it right here. Vicky Ball gets it. She uses an escape dribble, and she outlets it to Kamiko Williams, who's running the lane. And then you see the nice diagonal bounce pass. And in the next play, Megan Simmons gets in the passing lane, creates offense from the defense, gives Tennessee a chance to expand on this lead.
Well, if you'd care to share a little social media with us today, hashtag ESPNWBB. Here's our trending topic. Which team has the best chance to upset a #1 seed? Would it be Georgia Tech over Baylor, South Carolina over Stanford, the Bonnies over the Irish, or Penn State over Connecticut? Goodrich airs it out. Kansas will keep it.
And I think for the first time in this tournament, we're seeing Kansas taken out of their offense. Quick shots, early shots, second-guessing themselves in offense as well. But you've got to give credit to this Tennessee defense. They have really turned it up in this ball game.
Sutherland, tough shot, gets it to go. If I were to trend that topic of #1 seeds, I think I'm most intrigued by how South Carolina's defense will handle top-seeded Stanford and the Agumake sisters coming up tonight in Fresno. The runner is good from Ball.
And the Bonnies and Notre Dame to me is interesting because I don't feel like Notre Dame has played its best basketball in the postseason. What they did in the Big East tournament and what they have since done in the NCAA tournament, I think that they haven't quite found themselves yet in the postseason.
That one will be all about tempo. Notre Dame wants it to be in the 90s. The Bonnies want it to be in the 50s as Johnson misses the mark.
Important for Kansas right now to not try to get it all back at once. They've got to chip away. They've got to be the aggressor.
Another turnover forced by the Tennessee D. Simmons will step inside the line. 22 for Megan Simmons. Her second 20-point game of the tournament.
Megan Simmons, one of those streaky players who, when she gets hot, it's fun to watch.
Goodrich, and one.
Tennessee continues to push in the break, and Kamiko Williams gives it up, and Simmons stops and pops. Knocks it in, and Goodrich off of the penetration, able to float it up and knock it in. Kansas hasn't gotten too many looks in the paint in this second half, but Megan Simmons, outstanding effort. 22 points off the bench, shooting it extremely well to go along with 5 boards. And the defensive effort collectively with Megan Simmons and Ariel Massengale on Angel Goodrich has been terrific.
We saw Simmons firsthand in the best game that she played all year in that Kentucky home win during the regular season, playing both ends of the floor. I think even Megan would agree that at times she has been defensive challenged in the brief part of her career thus far, but she is showing that she can play at both ends. As Glory Johnson gets 2 more.
And it's an interesting theme that we've heard from all of these head coaches about the young players who are extremely talented offensively, not understanding that to play at this level, you've got to bring it on the defensive end.
That's been the turnaround here after Kansas started out shooting 60%, built up a 14-point lead. Engelman scores on the drive. And now they're really pressed for time with 3.5 to go, and all the Kansas players just stopped at midcourt. And Tennessee beat them down the floor. The Jayhawks either anticipated a whistle or thought there was some sort of stoppage in play. And the Lady Vols make them play. Simmons with the finish.
A Masters Moment brought to you by IBM. 2001, 25-year-old Tiger Woods, having won the previous 3 majors, came to Augusta looking for the final piece of the Tiger Slam.
There it is, as grand as it gets.
And after a final round 68, claimed his 2nd green jacket and 4th major title in a row.
A second is a very long time. Long enough for a train track in Taiwan to sense a malfunction and alert the operators. Or to spot a power disruption in Texas before it spreads. Or help a global finance company pinpoint fraud and protect customers. Smarter Analytics is helping companies all over the world predict what's coming and act on it now. That's what I'm working on. I'm an IBMer. Let's build a smarter planet.
Free is better.
Do your simple return with the Federal Free Edition at TurboTax.com. TurboTax, the most trusted brand of tax software.
This one's for all us lawnsmiths, grass gurus, doers. Here's to more Saturdays in the sun and budgets better spent. Here's to turning rookies into experts and shoppers into savers. Here's to picking up, trading up, mixing it up. To well-earned muddy boots and a lot more spring per dollar. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Break out the gardening gloves. Miracle Grow Garden Soil is now 3 bags for $10.
Open up Pizza Hut's new $10 dinner box. All your favorites, all in one place. A medium one-topping pizza, freshly baked breadsticks and cinnamon sticks, plus marinara and sweet icing for dipping. Best of all, the $10 dinner box is only $10 and only at your Pizza Hut.
Lady Vol fans nervous in the first half, but now having some fun in the second. They're up 15 with 3:21 to go for a spot in the Elite Eight. Let's take a look at the Capital One Cup impact performance.
Megan Simmons has been terrific early in the ball game. Knocks down 2 threes that really gives Tennessee a lift off the bench and has continued it in the second half, getting some looks in transition. We've seen an array of offensive moves by Megan Simmons, but certainly 22 points, 9 of 18 from the floor, and 4 rebounds to go along with it.
Her second best scoring game of the season. Strickland at the free throw line. Getting closer to what they've been hoping for all season. The opportunity to play to get into the Final Four. They are just over 3 minutes away as Goodrich is fouled out top.
Lori Johnson checking Goodrich up top. It's a good job of keeping her feet moving, but Goodrich able to get by her. You know, you look at the stat sheet and it's just 37 points off the bench. Holly Warlick spoke to us about the fact that the players coming off the bench are actually getting more minutes and continuing to play better. And they have certainly been the story here today.
Sutherland gets a bucket, under 3 to go. In the second half, they've shot it much better. They've outscored Kansas by 20 with a big boost from the reserves. Strickland fade away. Long rebound to Kansas. Goodrich going to push tempo. They need points in a hurry. Pollock got it. Jayhawks lurking. Timeout, Kansas.
And we have not seen Tennessee, with the exception of the first play of the half, play much zone in this second half. Their man-to-man defense has been terrific. They've been more active. They've communicated better. They've been in passing lanes more often than not with their man-to-man defense.
2:15 to play in the first of our Sweet 16 matchups this weekend on ESPN and ESPN2. 4 games today, 4 tomorrow. In this 31st NCAA tournament, all 4 number 1s have only advanced once to the Final Four. That's still a possibility. Kansas trying to become the lowest seeded team to ever advance to the Final Four. And the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship continuing with the Fresno region tonight at St. John's and Duke at 9 Eastern. South Carolina, Stanford at 11:30. All the games also available on ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app. It's the Division I Championship presented by Capital One on ESPN and ESPN2 tonight. Next game here in Des Moines will be Baylor and Georgia Tech. Simmons a bit out of control on the turnover. Jayhawks with a chance. 2 minutes to go.
They've got to be aggressive.
Harper 3, air ball.
What got Kansas going early in the ballgame was their aggressive mentality, attacking the paint, getting looks inside, not only attacking off of penetration, but attacking with penetrating passes. And in the second half, they have settled for a lot of contested jump shots early in offense.
Gonna try and bring some pressure here on the freshman Massengale. Deflection from Goodrich, kept alive by Kansas.
You gotta go.
Engelman wraps it around on the baseline for two. I'll pick up full court again. Goodrich almost got the steal. Massengale to shoot 1-1 the other end. Winner will be playing on Monday night against the winner of Baylor and Georgia Tech. Lady Bears undefeated at 36-0. And the Yellow Jackets playing in their first Sweet 16 under former Purdue star player Michelle Joseph. And going deep into the tournament as a head coach, Sydney Wallace, one of the hottest hands in this NCAA tournament. 51 points in the 46 minutes she has played for the Yellow Jackets.
And Georgia Tech really wants to make that game a 94-feet game. They don't want to play in the quarter court against Brittany Griner, offensively or defensively.
Tennessee trying to put the finishing touches on the Jayhawks here. Goodrich, runner is good. Under a minute to go in a 10-point game. Goodrich trying to draw the offensive foul, doesn't get it. And the foul with 49 seconds to go. Coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship continuing today on CBS. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. Of note for the teams here in Des Moines, both the Kansas and Baylor men winning last night to advance to the Elite Eight. Goodrich with some blood on the elbow. Been an impressive run for the Jayhawks as an 11 seed, losing their best player to an ACL injury. Carolyn Davis right in the background right there behind Angel. And they struggled down the stretch, got a huge win against Oklahoma in the regular season finale, which essentially got them into the NCAA tournament. And they have made the most of their opportunity.
It's a Jayhawk team that will lose one senior and Aisha Sutherland, return everyone else. And the first time that they have been to the tournament since the year 2000. And I think if you ask any one of these players on the floor what getting a taste of getting to the tournament does, it makes them that much more hungry to get back.
And the officials have gone over to the scorers table. Clark Stevens, Laura Morris, Brian Hall. And they want to check out something on the monitor. The story for this Tennessee team with a big second half. Their senior class, the quest for a trip to the Final Four continues. If it is the top seed Baylor, it would be a rarity indeed for Pat Summitt. She isn't usually an underdog or a lower seed, and this is what the officials wanted to look at to see if Goodrich was hit by the elbow, to see if Massengale had the elbow up in a non-basketball kind of play, whether or not this is a flagrant foul situation, number one or number two.
Well, and the official was right on top of it underneath the rim, and they have an opportunity in a dead ball situation to go back and look again. Anytime there's contact above the shoulders, there's always a chance to review it. They take that opportunity.
If it is the flagrant 2 variety, it's going to be an extra possession or 2 for Kansas. The possibility that Massengale would be done. It did not appear on the initial replay that there would be an ejection involved.
And it almost looks like her shoulder more so than an elbow.
Yep. Massengale has been a huge part of the Tennessee comeback in this second half. As they get the coaches together, here is the flagrant 1 and flagrant 2, which involves the automatic ejection. And both of these would result in not only a couple of free throws, but a possession.
Just told incidental contact. She didn't lead with the elbow. So essentially it's nothing.
Play on.
Play on.
No flagrant 1 or 2. Massengale gets the free throws, a 12-point lead. Tennessee got into the region final last year. They lost to Notre Dame. Goodrich with the 3. It's a 9-point game. And now the Lady Vols trying to get back there for the 2nd year in a row. Glory Johnson to the line. They are in the double bonus.
Glory Johnson, one of these players who really worked at the foul line, and the Tennessee staff telling us how important it was for her to continue. She gets there an awful lot, and she's fouled an awful lot. They needed her to convert, and she took that to heart over the summer, really worked on her foul shots.
The 6'3" senior and the Knoxville native who knows better than anybody the importance of Tennessee Lady Vol basketball. Just the 4th player in their illustrious history that's got over 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. Goodrich looking for 3 more. Ball boards. Tennessee faithful on their feet. They will end the Cinderella run for Kansas, and they will continue on their way to the Elite 8 and a showdown with either Baylor or Georgia Tech on Monday night for a spot in the Final Four. They outscore Kansas 54-38 in the second half. And Pat Summitt, career win number 1,098, gets her into the Elite 8. The 24th time in 31 years that they are in the region final. Let's go to Samantha Steele.
Coach, it was a tale of 2 halves. What was the difference for your team in the second half?
Well, we got down and defended the one-on-one, and we got really serious about it, and we had a pretty heated discussion at halftime. And our program is built on defensive rebounds, and we were not doing that. They were shooting at 1.60% in the first half. So we had to get down and defend one-on-one, and I thought we came out and did that.
What did you learn about your team today heading into the Elite 8?
Well, I think we have a resilience about us. We start off slow, but we tend to never give up, and that's what I love about this team. I'd much rather them not get in a hole, but they keep fighting and fighting. Different people step up. So Megan Simmons stepped up today. Ariel Massengale stepped up today. So just proud of their effort, and it was a great team effort.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll bring Megan in now. She's walking up. All right, Megan, a huge performance for you today, but as you sat there on the bench in the beginning of the game, what was your assessment as to what was going on?
We came out too sluggish. We didn't have any energy. We're really low in energy, but the second half we came out, had a different mindset. We have a goal this year, and that's to get to a Final Four, and the second half we came out with a lot of intensity.
How important is it to get these seniors back to the Final Four? I know you're only a sophomore, but you know the history there.
It's very important. You know, these girls are like sisters to me, and I want them to be successful, you know, just as anybody else. And I think it's going to be important for them that when they leave this arena of college basketball and step into the next step of their life, I think, you know, this is really important. It's going to give them a boost of energy for the next level.
Well, you sure gave them a boost today. 22 points. Congratulations. Go enjoy.
Appreciate it.
Beth?
Thank you, Samantha. 41 points off that Tennessee bench. Then an 84-73 win over Kansas. Next, we'll take you to College Basketball Live, followed by Georgia Tech and the Baylor Lady Bears in our other Sweet 16 matchup in Des Moines. Tennessee moving on to the Elite Eight on Monday night. And now let's get you to Trey Wingo.